Idaho's most expensive program at $5.2 billion just got a complete revamp. Governor Little just signed House Bill 345, making it the legislature's only successful bill to control the cost of our wildly overgrown Medicaid program. Just to be clear, Medicaid is the social welfare program traditionally designed to provide health care for low-income, pregnant, disabled, and elderly people. It is distinct from Medicare, the federal health insurance program funded through payroll deductions, which is available to those 65 and older. But this bill is far from the dream Medicaid reform conservatives hoped for. House Bill 345 does some good things for the program integrity, like work requirements and even site-neutral payments. These are big moves for free markets. But on the other hand, it implements something called managed care, where private insurance companies run the program instead of the state. Some try to argue this is a free market solution, but when there's so much government augmentation, the only thing private is how the money is spent. So on this final episode of Fiscal Fridays, we're asking whether House Bill 345 will be a blessing or a curse on Idaho's already out of control spending on medical welfare, and where policymakers plan to go from here, and how this all fits into where I plan to go myself. It wouldn't be very fair to denigrate some of the major reforms found in House Bill 345, so here are some of the positive things the bill will bring to the state. First off, the bill would implement work requirements for healthy, able-bodied adults. To stay on Medicaid, enrollees need to be working or volunteering at least part-time, ensuring they are actively contributing to the economy. Second, the Department of Health and Welfare can now make biannual redeterminations about whether enrollees should remain on Medicaid to keep people accountable. Before this, the IDHW could only check once per year, allowing some ineligible enrollees to cheat the system for extended periods of time. Third, it brings the program more in line with Idaho's values by banning Medicaid spending for transgender surgeries. Why this is considered necessary healthcare in the first place is beyond us. Fourth, Medicaid enrollees are required to share the cost of their services through copays. This would give them a financial stake in their care, hopefully reducing their use of services and, by extension, costs. Finally, it gives the IDHW director the ability to make cuts to the program to keep it under budget should the federal government make changes to the way they reimburse able-bodied working-age adults on Medicaid. Knowing IDHW Director Alex Adams, I'm sure he will put this to good use. Despite these clear wins, however, we will only see a $15 million reduction in the first year and $27 million reduction in the second. Unfortunately, this amounts to merely a rounding error, given the scale of Idaho's Medicaid budget. Despite these cost-saving measures that will reform the nature of the program, there are serious concerns with the implementation of something called managed care in Idaho Medicaid. Currently, Idaho Medicaid uses a fee-for-service system, meaning the state pays providers directly for individual services. This changes under managed care, however, as the state pays private insurers a monthly fee per enrollee instead. This is a major problem for a handful of reasons. To start, managed care is not transparent. Under the fee-for-service program, information regarding Medicaid payments to providers could be provided in a state report. This information is not available under managed care, to the point that even the federal government has reported that they have no clue what's going on. Another concern is that it also fails to save money. Previous research conducted right here at IFF found there was no distinction in savings or budget stability of managed care compared to regular fee-for-service systems. Worst of all, managed care leaves the door wide open for fraud. Companies with managed care are paid more by the government the more people are enrolled. This is a massive incentive for Medicaid enrollment and spending to grow at an alarming rate. This makes it easy to construct a robust system of legalized money laundering of federal funds. In all, managed care fails to save money, reduce enrollment, cut benefits, or even lower costs. The reality is that issues with Medicaid stem from its design. National policymakers created this behemoth of a program that is ripe for abuse and poor outcomes. Which brings me to why this will be my final episode hosting Fiscal Fridays. Today will be my last day at the Idaho Freedom Foundation, as I'll move on to work on Medicaid policy for the Paragon Health Institute, an influential think tank informing the discussion about healthcare policy in Washington, D.C. There, I will shift my focus full-time to addressing healthcare policy issues at a national scale. I'm so excited for this door that God has opened for me. I will miss working at the Idaho Freedom Foundation, but I am glad to leave on a high note, with this being IFF's best year yet. I will say that we have accomplished a lot. We posted 77 episodes of Fiscal Fridays in the 3 years of its running, pointing out some of the worst cases of how the state government has mishandled your tax dollars. We also achieved some material victories too. This show sparked conversations about sound money, rogue bureaucrats in the Department of Health and Welfare, and informed Idahoans about misspending in programs like child care grants, infrastructure grants, and LUMA. I'm proud of the time I spent here, and I'm ready to take on this new adventure. In all, the issues are much bigger than Medicaid. It is about the principle of self-government. It is about ensuring your tax dollars go to where they're supposed to. And it is about preserving the prosperity of this great nation under God. These are the fights every conservative should focus on. So go out, win for freedom. Thank you all for tuning in over the years, and I hope to see you again soon.